Hello, listeners. This is episode 77 of the Double Cross Anime Podcast. I'm Whooper, and here's Mario.
Hello.
What are we doing? What are we doing today? Um, Episode 8 of Chihaya Furu, Beastars, Hoshiai no Sora, and then episode 9 of Blade of the Immortal, Mugen no Junin, and then 3 more episodes of everyone's favorite, Aim for the Ace,
Yeah,
Ace wo Nerae.
definitely my real favorite sport anime of all times.
Yeah, I've been defending this show from Mario's hateful attacks on it for the last 3 weeks, but it got pretty dumb. Got pretty dumb in these 3 episodes.
Ooh, well, that's not a fair assessment to aim for the ace though, because I always see the show is always dumb.
Well, I mean
To begin with,
it got dumber than normal. Then
right?
it
Dumb and
got
dumper.
it got dumber. It got mega dumb.
All right.
But we'll get to that later.
Yep,
Um,
that's true.
which of these shows should we start with?
Up to you.
I don't know which one I want to start with. I'm
All
not
right.
picky.
Let's start with the show that I watched first for the week.
Okay.
Chihara Furu.
Okay. So if you watch this one first, then that means your memory of it is going to be the foggiest, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Great. Well, I think I also watched it first.
Yep.
So we can be confused together.
Well, it's it it's still a pretty straightforward episode, I think. They focus more on the king challenger than the queens.
Yeah, because Chihaya is in Kyoto.
Yeah. Just basically lost her mind there. Just her mind is in Tokyo, basically.
Right. But not her body. She has not
In,
fled the scene.
yeah, she doesn't enjoy one bit of whatever they're doing there, though.
Yeah. I mean, I made my feelings about the previous episode clear last time, so I'm not going to go
Yeah,
back over those. But yeah, as you said, it is kind of a straightforward episode. I think.
um,
I mean, it involves a lot of Karuta matchups.
all right.
Although we
So
don't see a lot of gameplay, it's more about like what's happening at the tournaments.
yeah, that's true. So we can talk about Shuo, the king, who actually come to greet everyone on the great eye of, I think, the west. I don't even know that it is a west of Japan.
I was a bit confused about that as well, like who's at which tournament. But it is the West tournament where Arata,
Yep.
Shinobu, Suo, they're at the West tournament. I don't know what city
Yep.
it's being held in. Maybe Kyoto. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then Tokyo is where Taichi is.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's
Tokyo
in the
is like
East.
the rest of the gang. So basically, like, except for those people that you just mentioned, the other ones uh, are in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah, and that
And
might be the way it would be in real life. Like Karta's
mm,
player base might be concentrated in one area because I imagine that it is a game with a pretty small following.
yep, yep, yep. I do think so as well. But you can imagine that the king and the queen are actually come from the west side. So basically
West
come
Side.
from basically come from Kyoto and Osaka, or these areas.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess that's good, right? Diversity,
Yeah,
representation.
diversity. Yep.
Sure. Suo's weird.
Yeah. Well,
He's a weird
that
guy.
that was I was about to ask you how you think about him.
It's kind of interesting to hear him say to Shinobu at the end of episode 7, "Let's go there and crank up the tension."
Yep.
And then in episode 8, he just handing out dorayaki,
Hmm.
uh, some sweets for everybody there to keep their energy up and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think he, rather than being kind of an innocent uh, character, like an
Mhm.
innocent, fun-loving prankster or whatever, I think he's trying to get people. He's trying to mess with people.
Yep, yep. That's the feeling I got from him as well. So how about what did you take on he talking to Arata about about what he think of his playing?
Well, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I think that he's deliberately trying to like confound people,
Mm-hmm.
trying to mess
Mm-hmm.
with them, is because of what he says to Arata.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be the Meijin one day, but not this year. Not now.
Yep.
He's trying to psych him out. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily because he sees Arata as like a major threat, um, but just because he's probably aware of all the chatter about him potentially being unseated. You know how like all the members of the Karate Society, like the elder members, the board members, the council, whatever you want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
um, they want Suo to be dethroned because he's not good for the game's image, maybe, or he's just a weirdo. And Suo
Well.
probably knows that Arata is one of the people who they have the most hope in to accomplish that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, no, not today.
Character wise though, does he remind you of the current king in Shoji in Sangetsu no Line?
No.
I don't remember his name.
Meijin Soya.
So yeah, that's true. No.
No, he doesn't remind me of him at all.
Mm.
Soya
Like
doesn't have that.
playfulness.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, it's more than just playfulness. It's like tactical strangeness. Like
Yep.
he's got a real strategy to the way that he
To,
presents himself. Soya doesn't have that. He's like in his own world.
that's true. Mm.
But it's true. One thing that links them is that they both have some form of sensory deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
Soya can't hear very well; he's losing his hearing, and Suo is losing his vision.
Oh, did they mention that before? I, d- I actually don't recall that at all.
Was that a spoiler?
Oh, I actually don't remember like if they have mentioned that before. Like maybe.
I
Right.
don't either. I just know that about his character, so maybe that
Right.
hasn't been revealed yet. He did make appearances in the first season of Chihaya
Yep.
Fudu. Maybe they said it then, but I mean,
Yep.
I I
Mm.
just said that based on my knowledge of the character and because the
Yep.
glasses that he wears
Mm-hmm.
um, are like they're to help correct his vision or to help guard his vision.
Right, but it usually makes sense that the people who lost the uh the vision can hear better or can hear very well compared to like normal person.
Right. Yeah, maybe that is the reason for his power.
Mm.
And he's obsessed with readers.
Yep.
Like he performs much better when certain people are reading. Maybe that's another manga spoiler.
No, no,
Not
no, no, no. That was we learned from his character so far.
Yeah, he freaks out and like fanboys over whoever the reader is at the
That
West Japan qualifier, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think now. That because he already the king, so he always got like the bad person who say the stuff of for the games, the announcer. But what happened if he just play like a normal game? Will his sense will be as acute as when he play in the final in the official match?
I don't know. Isn't there another character who's similar, like Rion, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah.
Sakurazawa's like star pupil.
Mm-hmm.
She always performs better when her grandmother is reading.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to imagine that if Tsuo is the Meijin, then he's probably got a whole host of readers who he prefers. Like
Mhm.
it must be only
Mhm.
one or two who he really
Really
doesn't care
love.
for at all and would
Yep. Yep.
cause his game to be thrown off, I guess.
Yep.
It's going to be a long time before anyone's able to challenge him, I think.
Yep. Another important point of it episode is Tai Chi and her mother, and his mother, sorry, who
Yep.
actually came to the game as well and about to to throw him off, about to.
Yeah, did you hear what her excuse for following him was?
She want to see like which library that he went to.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no way that's true, right?
Yeah, there's no way that's true.
I wanted to see which library. I mean, it's a library. He's just going there for peace and quiet and to study. But that's why he would be going there if he were going to a library. She was just going there to see whether he was like slacking off or something.
Basically, she just follow him to see like where he was going.
What are you up to, son?
Yep.
You better be doing
Oh,
exactly what I think you're doing.
you're up to no good. Playing shogi, becoming a king. What?
I she's not great.
Yeah.
But we've seen her before. You know, and it kind of makes sense to me that Taichi is struggling to find the reason to
Yep.
play Karuta
Hmm.
or find like direction in his life if he's had his mom like hovering over his shoulder all
Mhm.
this time.
Yep.
You know, perhaps that as a kid he wasn't granted the same freedom as other children. Felt like his life was
Yep.
kind of mapped out for him. Um, so that's unfortunate.
But I really like the way that Shumire stand up to basically just stand up to protect Taichi from his mom.
Let's not forget that originally she accepted her business card with her contact info on it so that she could rat Taichi out after
Yep.
his match
Yep.
was over and get on his mom's side as step one in her plan to eventually marry the guy.
Yeah, that reasonable as well. I actually I actually agree with her on that.
That's the same
That
level of scheming that his mom was engaging in when she followed him to see what library he was studying at.
well,
She would probably love Sumire to marry into the family. Oh, you're just like
Yep.
me.
yeah. That was I think that was a powerful moment for Sumire, even though that she doesn't really talk much, talk her way out. No, but doesn't really defense Taichi on that one.
Well, she just like blocks the door.
Yeah, she just blocked the door. She doesn't really have like any good reason why she doing that. She just like you don't come in, you don't uh disturb Taichi
Okay.
when he play in the tournaments.
Oh, is that all she really? I can't remember like exactly what her language was.
Yeah, it's just
She doesn't say anything like, "Taichi's trying to find his dreams. Leave him alone." I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what she said.
Actually something along that line.
Damn, I could be an anime script writer.
Yeah. Oh, you could be doing the voice acting.
Oh, right, yeah. There's a little sample there for part of my show reel or whatever it's called. Sumire, she plays into Taichi's plot. So that's good for her
Yeah.
to have something to do, I guess. Unlike the other guy who joined in her same year. I can't even remember his name at this point. The guy with like the 3 triplet brothers.
Oh yeah. Something Kun. Poku or something. Don't remember.
He's been completely irrelevant this year.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's fine. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but Taichi get he does get desperate though. Remember when he beat the guy who just won uh, Class B, and
Yeah, yeah.
he actually taught the other guy why, why did he lose to this guy.
He talked with the other guy. Why did he lose to this guy?
Yeah, well, sorry, I don't remember the name, so
It's retro.
um, retro. Yeah, so he did um basically got angry with retro about losing to that other guy.
Got angry with him. I guess. I mean, I wouldn't use the word angry. I would say that he was like, I don't know. They're both teenage boys, and he was trying to
Yeah.
like encourage him or
That doesn't
show.
sound like encouraging though. Criticize.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's the reason I prefaced my comment with they're both teenage boys. Like, I think
Yeah.
that Taichi approaching him at all and being like, why'd you lose to this guy?
Mhm.
Don't lose to somebody like this. Uh, I think that might be like the best sort of encouragement he could possibly give him. It's not like he has an adult perspective and he's thinking about how retro will interpret his comment and stuff.
Mhm.
He's he's just like, man, I beat him. You can beat him too. Don't lose to him.
Yeah. Mm. Because it come off more like, he actually angry with that. He um,
Maybe I
I don't
mean
know, man.
his frustration is probably less directed at retro and more,
At
um,
what exactly?
I don't know, himself.
For what? Because he did win the guy. He did
Yeah,
beat the guy.
he beat him, but the whole time he's there at the tournament, he's like, "What am I really fighting for? I want to
Yep.
become somebody else, but I still want to be me." You know,
Mhm.
that's the last line of the episode. Like
Be himself.
he wants to be himself, but he doesn't want to.
Not himself either.
He doesn't want to carry his own like limitations with him and his own directionlessness. Um, he wants to find like a new path or a new purpose or whatever. I
Well,
mean, it's all this that theme is all over anime, and it's never, or I should say, it's rarely expressed like very clearly. I think it probably
mhm.
just is a cultural thing, like constantly searching for a different version of yourself or a better version of yourself, and
Mhm.
not really being able to put it concretely into words because of course
Yeah.
it's not something physical that you're looking for, it's something intangible.
Yeah.
Taichi's doing all the same stuff in this episode.
Yep. All right. Um, I think we can move on to the next show then.
What would that be?
Um, we are on the topic of difficult mom,
Oh
difficult
yeah,
parents
I
into
I know where this is going.
into their child. So let's move on to Hoshia no Shora.
Oh boy,
I
how'd you like this episode?
It's alright for me. On one hand, I appreciate the way that they tackle these characters who coming to terms with their old genders. Uh, on the other hand, though, I do think that one that the parents, the conflict between the parent and the child becomes so obvious now. I feel like they try to ram up all the tension by having like every single members of the team or having a familial issues.
Yeah,
And two, I do think that these characters are a bit too mature in their conversation of of the gender things.
well it's mostly Maki who is
Yep.
like way more
Yeah. Well.
sensitive
Yeah.
and empathetic and all that than is humanly possible.
Well, for his age, yes. He come up as mature, know it all, smart, sensitive, all the good things. but even to the other guys, when he tackled that thing, he just clearly say that he doesn't know who he want to become yet. And I was like, I do think that this is like the phase that they struggling with that, even like not coming to term with that, like literally, you know. So they not even sure, they don't know about these things, and they feel more like that. This guy have thought out a lot, which is a good thing. Which I think like 10 year more mature than his age.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that he would say, I still don't know, what I want to be or what I want to do, when
Mm-hmm.
he's already the perfect human being.
Yep, true.
I mean, I understand why Maki is at the center of this series because I mean, as you mentioned, like every single member of the soft tennis club has a parent or parents who are like, I mean, most of them are single parents, I think.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
but every one of them has a parent who is like failing to meet their needs in some
Mm-hmm.
way, whether that be like physical abuse, um, just general absence, like not being a part of their life,
Yep.
trying to involve themselves too much in their child's life or not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and each of those problems come in like various flavors based on what the kid wants or needs and how the parent is failing to
Yep.
supply that. We got like three parents in this episode alone
Mm-hmm.
who were not great. Like Now's mom is controlling, and she's the
Yep.
typical like, I signed you up for cram school, you start tomorrow type of parent who
Yep.
just tells him he should quit the tennis club. Then we got Yuta's mom who finds him in his sister's room with a bag of clothes, girls' clothes, and
Yep.
automatically makes the jump to, oh, you want to be a girl.
Yeah.
Like
Well.
all she saw him doing was like holding a bag of clothes.
Well, I do think that used mothers, um, have that sort of feeling before
Well,
with
probably.
you. So it just like like it just um uh, a single drop of water that that just it's just enough for her.
Yeah, I'm sure that being his mother, like, having a close relationship with him, she has felt in the past that he's like, I don't know.
Like to dress up like us, at
Well,
least.
maybe she's caught him doing that or sensed that he wants to do it or something in the past, but she's probably seen other stuff as well, like just
Mm-hmm.
traditionally feminine behavior.
Yep.
Um, she's seen him like exhibiting or whatever, and so she has her suspicions. But I
Mm-hmm.
just felt like the way since that comes in the post credit scene at the very end of the episode, it's as though when she sees him holding the bag, it's like she's reacting to everything that we as the audience have learned throughout the episode, like his
Yep.
private conversations with Mackie or
Yep.
Maki. It's like
Mm-hmm.
she was there for those, and that's what's um, you know motivating her reaction. It just seemed kind of strange to me.
I actually feel that was alright, but I feel now modest. Like all the reason, like you see the beginning at the episode where she basically scold now no
Yeah.
because of all these things. I feel like she doesn't have any conclusion. She just fight in all directions. About why being in the soft tennis is not good for him, and he need to focus on study instead. She says something like, you play but you lose anyway. uh, I never feel that impressed uh, before in my life. um, why doing the barbecue? What if you can drink beer, you can have fun in the barbecue anyway. It's just like she shot in all directions. She tried to shut him down in every single reason that she can thought of.
Yeah, well, when we see the two of them eating dinner later, which is when she brings up cram school, he's like picking at his food and he's slumped over in his chair. He's obviously unhappy. He's distracted. He's not giving his mom his full attention.
Hmm.
And she says, after she like breaks the news about the cram school to him, she says something along the lines of, "It's great to see you so motivated."
Yep.
So she doesn't even, she's not even like looking at her child. She's not really,
Yeah.
or I should say, she's not really seeing her child.
Hmm.
Just whatever version of him she wants to see, or she's just assuming that whatever her thoughts and feelings are, they would be mirrored in her son.
Right.
Um,
Um.
so
Yep.
she, she's trying to live vicariously through him, I suppose. Maybe make up
Mhm.
for missed academic opportunities in her life or his father's life or
Yep.
something like that.
So you mentioned that there are like three bad parents in the episode. So who is the remaining one?
Well, the remaining one we don't actually see. She's not on camera, but Mitsue, the gloomy girl who
Yep.
follows the tennis club around everywhere, when she
Uh,
approaches Sakurai Sensei, the art teacher,
yeah. Yeah.
she says, "My mom thinks that drawing is stupid and it's not something that respectable people do."
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so she's the third parent. But we don't actually get her on camera, and we also learn that her family is not very well off financially, so they don't have the means to provide like art lessons for their daughter.
Yep.
So I
But
mean, maybe her mom works two jobs, and she doesn't
yep.
really have time for her daughter in general, much less like this weird hobby that she has that isn't going to pay the bills.
Right. Speaking of that, Mishua actually have a lot of room in this episode. So we start with her, like picking a fight to the other girl on purpose, so that the other boys can stalk, uh, uh, gain more information about the opponents, the
Yeah,
opposite team.
while they're dressed up as girls.
Oh yeah,
That's the
that's
critical.
right.
That's the critical part of the episode. Is that
I
there's
actually
the
forgot
cross
about that.
the cross dressing plot. You forgot about that. That was the
Well,
whole.
it just slipped my mind
Okay.
because I was focusing on her. So and she actually afterwards she get upset by like having other girls bullying her because she have experience. That's obviously she have experienced some of that before. Uh, so I think that's a good moment of her. Like we actually see her suffering
Oh man,
through this.
I don't agree at all.
All right, tell me
I
why.
mean, I think that scene totally failed because the only reason she got into that conflict was because when the other girls were watching Joy, the tennis player who they needed to
Yep.
gather information on, she like storms up to them, pushes them out of the way, takes their place, and then says, the spot isn't reserved for you." And then she calls them ugly and grandma.
Yep.
And so when they rough her up and like stomp on her feet and stuff, and she leaves, she comes back around the corner to where the rest of the team is, and they like throw a pity party for her. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh man,
That's true.
that was so horrible. They treated you so badly, but you did a great job. We appreciate it." The only reason that the only reason they treated her that way is because she was extremely rude to them.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That
That is true. Yes.
I mean, what they did was wrong.
Yep.
But she started the whole thing, and she was also wrong.
Yep. Yeah. That is true. But what ticked me off on that scene though is the way our perfect guide Maki
Mm-hmm.
completely understand everything, and
Wait, what did he completely understand in that
he
scene?
he understand how Mitsue feel. You must feel really rough or something. He says something along that line, and she after hearing the words, she's just crying.
Yeah. I mean, he said something similar at the very end of the episode. He's like, you want to get some food
Yeah,
because you're
that too.
suffering.
Yep. Yeah. And you need a healthy mind, healthy body, a healthy body. Well, I actually that's a good reason though.
Because you're suffering. Dude, I thought that line was awful. Like
It's a pick of lie. Come on.
he's trying to pick up a Mitsue.
A bully girl, yes. Who
Maybe,
who is suffering? Sorry.
maybe he wants to be stepped on.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants her to bully him. Uh, yeah. So Maki is truly wise. I
Yeah.
mean, he even in the scene with Yuta, um,
Uh-huh.
in their whose room is it? I guess is it Maki's room or
I would say that yeah,
is
it's
it
a
Yuta's
Maki
room?
room.
Okay.
I think I think it's the Maki room
Yeah, probably
because we
so.
have like Toma and the girl Mitsue waiting outside of the room. So I would say that it's Maki rooms.
Right. Um, Even in that scene, it's mostly Maki who does the talking.
Yeah.
Even though it's Yuta's like his questioning of his gender and his like maybe he wants to transition, maybe he just wants to be non-binary. He's not really sure. So it's really his issues that are driving the scene, but it's Maki who does most of the talking.
Yep.
Um, and I mean some of that is interesting because he talks about his mom's friend,
Yep.
Sho,
Mhm.
who we saw in episode 2, and I was like, who is that? You know, the
Oh
show doesn't
really?
really, yeah, the show doesn't really comment on who this person
Oh.
is. We don't learn if it's his mom's boyfriend or just a friend or
That's
what
interesting.
or some sort of like uncle or relative of
Yep.
Maki's. We didn't we didn't learn who it was at all, but in this episode we learn about the link between Sho's situation and Yuta's.
Yep.
Um, so that's kind of cool to get that little bit of backstory filled in. But then Maki is also going on and on about how he doesn't know what he wants to do, and we still have time, and
Yeah.
we're still young, so there's time for us to figure things out. And
Yeah. I think it makes sense though that he's the one who do the talking because he served as the one for other characters to open up their own issues. So he have to be the one who do the action first. So I can kind of understand why he would be more active in otherwise other people problems issues. But yeah,
yeah, I mean it makes sense, I guess.
yeah, but he just become too wise. He really wise. He's a wise man.
He
We should all
is
follow in him.
Maki the Sage. I wonder, like, if a lot of these one-off parental issues and troubles that the kids are going through, I feel at this point might just be like dropped. Um, for example, the class president, the heavyset girl who lives in that mansion, and both her mom
Yep.
and her grandma call her by different
Different
names, but
names.
but she
Yep.
has her own name. Like,
Uh-huh.
is that ever gonna come up again? Uh,
Maybe, maybe not. It
I've
it yeah, it
Rintaro being
interesting for me.
adopted, like
Yeah.
that just came up and then disappeared. I'm afraid that the
Well,
same thing is gonna happen to Yuta.
all right. Because I do think that the show set up to be like more than one core.
Oh,
Because
I
we
don't
are
think so.
in because I think that we are in episode 8 now, and the main plot also really goes nowhere now. We have like other match coming, but then we have like the practice match that will come on the next episodes, and for me it just taking its time. So I do think like the first few episodes it's take the time to set up all these characters, all the all the single characters on the of the team with their own issue and problems. And then I do think that like in the maybe if they have like a second core or something, the second core gonna be, like pull them all together.
Well, don't say if they get a second core or something, because I think the entire point of like what you were just saying was that this first core is just the beginning, and then there is going to be a
Yeah.
second core. But
Well,
I mean, I don't think there will be.
yeah. It's just the
I
feeling that I have.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're right. I guess. If the show is continues to be like underwhelming in the sense of everything being like a complete package, like
Uh-huh.
all this personal drama being folded into the sports anime, I feel like
Yeah.
they're kind of separate at this point. If it doesn't become like one solid presentation,
Mhm.
then I don't know. I mean, I'll probably keep watching it, but I don't know if I want to keep talking about it.
All right. It might be that it's not gonna be a second core, but it's gonna be like an entire original movie, sequel movie afterwards.
Ah, yeah,
The
that is
trend
a
to that.
trend.
Yeah.
Could be. That would probably depend on the success of the anime, because
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of other
true.
anime are judged on how much like merchandise they sell, or what kind of sales bump they give to the source
Mm.
material, like the manga or a light novel series or something, because the
Yep.
anime is giving exposure not just to to the franchise. It's not just trying to sell itself. But this is an original project, so I
Yeah.
suppose it'll mostly be like Blu-ray and DVD sales that determine whether it has any sort of future. And I don't even know
Yeah,
if
but
Akane, the guy who created it, wants there to be any sort of
right.
follow up.
But before that, Princess Principal was the original show, and they have like a massive, like 6 movies that will come afterwards. That's are coming as well afterwards. Um, and second, so like back to your questions. Um, at the moment, I have the feeling that not even like the the president, the uh, council president story not going to be mentioned anymore. But I also afraid that Maki father not going to reappear anymore
Oh,
in
that
the
one
next few episodes.
I think he probably will.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
will.
because he was in episode 1. That was like the
Yeah,
hook of the series.
yeah. Basically, what I mean, if they're going for more than one core,
Ah,
he
right.
might not gonna be reappear in these seasons.
Well, I mean, I would be fine with that if there's going to be more material,
Yeah,
I
that's true.
suppose. But we'll see. I kind of doubt that it's going to get anything extra. I think we have 4 episodes left to go.
Mhm. All right.
At the very least, we
Uh,
have 4 more episodes of it on the podcast.
yeah, that's true. All right. Let's move on to the next one then. Between Vista and Plate of the Immortals.
Right. How about Beastars?
All right. Let's go with Vista.
Okay. How'd you like this one? Episode
I
8.
I enjoy it. It's
What was your
improving.
favorite part?
All right. Favorite part would be the time spent between Legacy and Haru. They had a
Okay.
lot of screen time this week.
I feel like you're kind of invested in their relationship.
Sorry, say that again.
I said I feel like you're kind of invested in their relationship. Like
I do.
usually when we talk about Beastars, you're talking about those two.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I do. I actually like the chemistry between them. I feel like they come from different world. They have like different wavelength. They have like different approach to this thing. Normally though, it would be the opposite would work, like the opposite attract each other. In this case though, I don't think it's gonna be working well because all the things like Haru feeling about she might be eaten, at any time. This feeling that Legacy can understand at all, and Legacy is being burdened by his action with Haru, which, as you can see, that he can't share to her as well. So it is for me, it just like this chemistry. What I'm really invested in that.
Right.
How
I
are
mean,
you?
you say that he can't tell Haru about what happened between the two of them, but in this episode, he
Mm.
makes up his mind to do it, and then chickens out, and I can't remember the reason for that.
The reason is Haru actually mentioned about her incidents,
Oh yeah,
about
I was
not
almost
her
eaten.
incidents.
I was almost eaten one day at school. That's how
Yeah,
I got this scar on my arm.
Scar. Yep, yep.
It
She
was
said
really
that.
it was really dark, and I couldn't see. Can rabbits not see at night? Because that's like a
Uh,
plot point in this episode is that some animals are nocturnals and they can see.
yeah. Well, her, Herbie Herbivore for some reason can't see at night in Vista.
Who can't see at
Yeah.
night in Beastars?
Uh, Herbivore.
Oh, herbivores.
For all the carnivore though, they can see very well at night for some
You
reason.
That's so weird because you would assume that herbivores would evolve the capacity to see at night, so they wouldn't get eaten,
Yeah.
like so
Well,
they could survive.
yeah. It's just the logic of Vista, I think,
I see.
because that was I. That's what really come up to me. Oh my God! Like all these uh, grass eating animal can even see at night. Awesome.
I mean, I guess grass is tastiest during the day when the sun is out and they're
Uh,
photosynthesizing.
all right. A question for you: do you think that the blackout has have anything to do with like some sort of scheme from someone, from some carnivore?
I mean, maybe there's mention in this episode of like a string of murders
Yep. Yep.
or devourings, whatever you want to call them, that have happened in around the city recently.
Mm.
So perhaps it does. Like when episode 9 comes on, we'll learn that somebody was abducted or killed or eaten while the
In
power
the
was
town.
off. Yeah, maybe.
Mm.
But
All
they
right.
could also just not do that, and it could have been an excuse for Haru to mix up the identities of Louis and Legacy,
Yep.
which is what happens at the very end. And
Yep.
she's like
They.
apologizing over and over. I didn't mean to get you guys mixed up. I'm sorry. I can't believe I
Yeah.
did that. Uh,
I.
so obviously she's aware that Legacy has a crush on her.
Nah.
Because
I
otherwise, what would be the reason for her to apologize so many times?
I think it rude. It rude to to doesn't recognize the person uh to help you to help you out.
Yeah, but if it's rude, you just apologize one time. You say, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry."
I think it's awkward for her as well
Yeah, the
because
reason it's awkward is because she understands that that the wolf has a crush on her.
I well
That's what's
when
awkward is that a carnivore is interested in an herbivore. And I mean,
uh
as far as she's aware, the first time they
yep
ever met was the time that she tried to seduce him. She thinks of that as the beginning of their relationship.
yep yep
So,
all right
I have to. Plus, there's like, she's apparently slept with like, I mean, it's gross to speculate as to how many guys
yep
it would be, but apparently she has been intimate with several fellows.
uh-huh.
So she's probably used to men seeing her that way. I think
Uh-huh.
she probably is totally aware that
All right.
Legacy is interested in her.
All right, I will differ with you on that one. I don't think that she aware. I think that she are oblivious to Legacy feeling and even to her own feeling to Legacy. I don't think she have any like special feeling for Legacy yet. No, that's why I think like in the moment of of her of when she's scared, she actually think of Louis before Legacy.
Well, yeah, I mean, she definitely doesn't think of him at all that way because he's a carnivore.
Yep.
That would be bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I
All
think she
right,
probably
but
knows why a wolf is like tagging along with her and following her around and stuff.
Let's see. I think that she just feel weird about that. But anyway, another character Juno actually caught up with everything.
She what?
She caught up with everything. She caught up with how the way that Legacy look at Haru, and she realized that like Legacy might have the feeling for Haru, that rabbit. What do you think about Juno's development this week?
I mean, I remember last week you made a comment that she was like one of the four main characters, or something similar, and I was like, I don't really know about that. But in this episode, she pretty much is brought into the main cast because her relationship with all three of the other members of the main cast, being Legacy, Haru, and Louis, they're all like sufficiently complicated and like intertwined. Because there's that scene with her earlier in the episode where she like pins Louis to the ground, and she's like, "I'm gonna be the next Beastar."
Yep.
So she's got a rivalry going on with him, I suppose.
Right.
And then Haru is like a romantic enemy, because she very quickly figures out, because it is so obvious that Legacy is interested in this rabbit. She figures it out in like 2 seconds.
Yep.
And obviously, her relationship with Legacy is that she is interested in him.
Yep.
I suppose, but I don't know. I feel like that she might get over that pretty soon.
All right. She expressed her liking to Legacy pretty clearly out. She talked to Luis about that. She actively flirting to Legacy, asking him a lot, trying to talk to him, without he even recognize anything.
Well, if the power hadn't gone out, she would have asked him, "Do you want to go to the Meteorite Festival together?"
That's right.
That's what she was in the middle of saying, and then power goes out.
Yep. I like the moment where she just spending with Louis. So she tried to overpowering him.
Yeah, I thought that scene was weird.
Weird? Alright.
Yeah.
How weird.
I thought it was weird. I don't know, like
it's physical harassment.
Like why would you
harassment.
go about it that way? Why couldn't you deliver the same message while just standing and talking? You know,
because he trying to overpowering him, like physically.
what does physical ability and power have to do with the fact that she wants to become the next Beastar, which is about acting?
Alright, so I think it's like go back to the herbivore and carnivore again. I think what she mean is that the strong people can only become a Beastar, and she is more suitable than Louis, which is the herbivore.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't that be understood between the two of them already? Like, she's a carnivore, he's an herbivore. I don't know. I just felt it was kind of strange. Perhaps because she wasn't much of a major character before this.
Yeah.
And in this episode, she's suddenly become such a major player all at once. And in addition to that, she's like getting all up on Louis.
Yeah. Well, because I think at that moment she did mention that I want to devour you right now.
No, she did not say that.
She says something along that line, that I can eat you now, but I won't.
I don't even remember her saying something like that. I think Louis says like, "Oh wait, hold on. I'm kind of remembering now. I think you're right." He's like, he says, "Do you want to kiss me?" And she says, "Are you trying to steal a kiss?" And she says, "No, that would be bad. What if my lips were to brush yours and then I accidentally like bit your face off or something along those lines?"
All right. So that yourself, myself is something like yeah, something along that line that she can be able to eat him, but she not gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean that was the gist of uh, PAS subs as well. The bite your face off thing was not. I
Yeah.
I added that myself.
All right. All right. Um. All right. I personally I had the kind of the same feeling with you regarding Juno, because just like 2 episodes ago, we first see her as being being bullied by the other guys, and now she become like just 2 episodes after, she becomes so popular. She become someone that basically overpowering, like the most powerful characters in Beastar.
Well,
And
she was being bullied, yeah, but I don't think it was by members of the drama club, was it?
no, it's by her classmate, I think, which
Yeah,
are
but
all
within the
herbivores.
context of the drama club, she's really popular.
All right, so just within the context of the drama club. All right, yep, that's true.
Well, I don't know what's going on in her other classes at this point either, but it is where the scene where we see her like sparkling and shining, or kira kira,
Yeah,
whatever you want to
yeah,
call it. Um, she's in the drama club, and everyone in the drama club is like smitten with her.
yep,
Whenever she
yep.
calls out to Legacy specifically, like all the guys in the drama club turn their heads towards him and kind of glare at him.
I love that.
That's a big like trope in anime, where
Uh,
like in those sorts of anime series where it's like the loser guy main character who is childhood friends with the beautiful student council president, and whenever she like talks to him, everyone's like glaring at him like why is she talking to you.
not
It's the
me.
same sort of thing here.
Yep, yep. Yeah. So because I know, because we all know beforehand that Legacy no doesn't have any special feeling with Juno. So I do think that like on Juno's attempt to get close to Legacy will be go in vain. So we have that feeling, like so certain that like every time that she trying to talk to Legacy, it doesn't have any like kind of chemistry at all between them.
Yeah,
That could
unfortunately
change
for
though.
her.
Yeah, that could change though, because now she know what the deal is. So I think that she gonna try to change her tactic regarding Legacy, and maybe herself gonna talk directly to Haru as well, or maybe eating Haru. That would be cool.
Maybe Juno was the murderer all along. Maybe she's the one
Oh,
who
alright.
killed the goat or whatever in the first episode.
Yep, 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 yep. Alright.
Even though I'm not even sure she was attending the school before that point. She could have been like a transfer student or something. I don't remember. She could have just
Yeah,
visited the school and killed the guy.
see the first year, so I think she just joined after, maybe after the play that we see like in the last few episodes.
Oh, was the play like the end of a school year?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Yep,
I don't know.
right. But I one moment that I find it really cool, that I basically like blew me away. It's like when the blackout and all these carnivore of the class trying to surround to protect the other members. Like that is like the first instinct of that society. I thought that was really like specific and really cool.
Well, wouldn't the first instinct be to eat them?
Yeah, well, so they passed that, they passed that point of eating. They actually go to the point where their first instinct is like, I need to protect my herbivores friends.
Yeah, that's the first action they take. I don't know
Yep.
though. I feel like the Beastars is kind of making the point that the foundation that their society is built on is like a lie. Because even when
Yep.
we see Legacy searching for Haru during the blackout, and he's trying to
Mhm.
isolate her scent, we see that there are a whole bunch of other colors, like it's represented by different colors of smoke or vapor, whatever in
Right.
the air. Haru's is
Mhm.
red, but we see a bunch of others as well, like purple, green, yellow,
Mhm.
whatever. And we've seen the dark market. We've seen we've heard from the panda guy who's like your attraction to a carnivore is or an herbivore is just warped hunting instinct. You know,
Yeah.
we've heard from a lot of different sources that the way things are in their like herbivore friendly society
Mhm.
is
Suffice.
yeah,
I just a fact it.
it's not real.
Mm.
It's not, or I should say, it's like not natural.
Right. Yeah.
So I have to imagine that after a while, that kind of thing is going to start to be torn down.
Mm.
I mean,
So
like
yeah,
as the plot develops, I think that's probably what's going to happen.
yep. So I would expect that in the next episode, like someone, we see like another missing person or something.
As a result of the blackout, like that's what happened during
Yep.
that time.
Yep. Yep. That's what I think.
Hopefully so that it wasn't just an excuse for Haru to be like, "Oh, you're not Louis."
Sorry. Sorry. I don't know why I did that.
It's okay. Here's a handkerchief. Dust yourself off.
But he looks so sad in that scene.
Yeah, he does look so sad, but the thing is, he's smiling the entire time. He's like trying so
Right.
hard to keep it
But-
together. How are you going to
Yeah.
tell me that she doesn't realize what's going on after that? It's so obvious. The
Yeah.
the way that he's like, don't worry about it. Don't think about it at all. Don't worry. Don't give it a second thought. Here's
Yeah.
a handkerchief. I'm fine.
Yep. I actually like the way that whenever he thinking about Haru, his tail will wagging. That time though, like his tail is just completely still.
Oh man,
He's
that's
in
sad.
the mood. That's sad. All right.
That's
I think we can
depressed.
move on to
Okay.
Planet of the Immortals. I do think it is a very good one. How about you?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was another kind of standalone episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it contributes to the whole plot of getting through the gate and pursuing Anotsu, Kagehisa, whatever you want to call him. But it still works as its own story.
Yep. I actually feel like the whole time that she gonna get caught by that guy.
Wouldn't the show have been over if she had been caught?
Well, I do think that series, if she been caught, Manchi gonna storm in and save the day.
Like last
So
time.
yeah, like every single time that we see of her. So I'm glad that like she actually made it.
Yeah,
With,
she
like,
does. At great cost.
Yeah, with actually a really deliberate plot that she planning.
You know, I think. Sorry, I was taking a drink. I think
Yep,
that
yep.
it's actually the wife, the couple who act as guides.
Yep.
For people to get through the gate. I think it's mostly her who does the planning because we see that flashback scene where she's like, "Here,
alright.
let's slice your stomach open real quick," or not stomach, but
Hold on. It's not her. It's the girl who it's the girl come from before. So it's
you're
not
talking about the
wife.
cook.
Yeah, the cook. That's right.
No, it
So-
is the wife.
You sure?
The cook is the one who directs her to that couple. She tells
Yeah.
Rin where to go and to meet up with that couple.
Yeah, I actually think that is her sister backstory that we heard. I'm gonna do a quick check to see because
Yeah.
the cook having like a short hair, and the wife I don't remember if she has short hair or
The wife has short hair.
as well.
The cook's
Right.
hair is long, and she keeps it up when she works.
All right.
The wife is the one, like, because we see this shot of Rin in the tub,
Yep.
And then the wife knocks on the door,
Yep.
and she's talking to her through the door after she discovers the knives in Rin's
Yep.
clothes. She's talking
Mhm.
to her through the door, and she's like, "You shouldn't go through with this. Uh, you know, are you sure that this is really what you want to do?"
Yep.
And Rin
All
says
right.
yes. So
Yep.
then
I just
later,
I just saw that. Yep.
after she makes it through the gate, there, we flash back to the scene where it's the wife of the in that couple, like the
Yep.
guide.
It,
She's
it
the one
was
who
the
like
wise. Wow.
who sticks the knife into her,
Yep.
and I mean it's her plan because she's the one who says, "Let me tell you about my sister."
Yep.
So she supplies Rin with all the information, but it's Rin who has to act it out. You know, she has to
Yep.
sell the lie, which she
Uh,
does.
I yeah. Well, I really appreciate the way that it's the husband who actually slip up, and
Yeah.
the god actually the god realized that, but it's Rin who she hold herself. She did all the job, basically.
Yeah, the husband. It's obvious why he got caught in the past
Yep. Yep.
because he's not a great
It's not
liar.
convincing. Yeah, it's not convincing the way that he talked.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing that I'm kind of confused about is how did such a recent wound turn into a scar so quickly?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
because it's supposed to have been a scar from.
just just a day or two, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know how long. It could have been a week.
Yep.
It could have been a month, but
Yep.
even
Yep.
if it's a
It's
month,
true.
like that still doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to be a scar from childbirth that was like, I don't know, a year ago or something or more.
Yeah. That's true. But well, they be too shocked that they don't even think of that possibility.
Yeah, I guess because Ren just manages to she manages to sell it to trick
Mhm.
everybody. And I
Yep.
mean, thank goodness she got through because if she had gotten cut up like that, and
Yep.
then on top of everything, they'd like throw her in prison or just kill her right there. I don't know what they would they
All
would opt
right.
to do if she had gotten
You
caught.
do you remember the warning content that they put up like in every before we start
Yes.
the
Yeah,
episodes?
adult content, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah, this one mentioned the rape as well, so I was afraid. I actually scared that something gonna happen to me.
Oh. Yeah, that's I first of all, I think that they probably put the same warning before every episode.
Yep.
So but yeah, dude, that kind of sucks that like your experience viewing the episode was colored by that. Like you were anticipating for something to happen
Yeah,
based on that.
but it turned out to be a surprise. So actually have like a like a winning feeling, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, but I mean like that means your interpretation of the episode as you were seeing it for the first time was affected by something that had nothing to do with like the text itself. The
Yeah,
text
that.
being like Blade of the Immortal.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, but
well,
that's
whatever.
right. Yeah, but that I think that's all right because like in the end, I feel like fun with the episodes because it it pan out not at the way that I thought it would be,
Yeah.
in a good way, in a really good way.
Yeah. I don't remember like any of the details of her story.
Yeah, it's just stories.
Just the end. Like
Yeah,
she had two kids or one child or
she
whatever.
had one child. She
Okay.
had one child, and she giving birth when she was 14.
Right. Yeah.
Hold on, that child, I don't remember if he was alive or not.
Yeah. I think the kid was supposed to be alive and living with family or something. And I thought
Right.
there were two children, but
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, she passed.
Yeah,
She
she,
passed.
yeah, that's the important thing. And I really the scene where she's like disrobing and she's about to show the scar.
Yep.
There's like a vocal accompaniment,
Uh-huh.
Like there's a kind of a moody piece of music that's playing in the background the whole time, and there are female vocalists who are kind of like
Oh,
softly chanting
yeah.
uh, in the lead up to it, and then right as she's about to show the scar, the vocal part of it drops out, and you can only hear the music.
Hmm.
And then when she reveals the scar, they come back in.
Hmm.
The
Right.
vocalists come back in. It's as though there's like a Greek chorus,
Yep.
like it's a play, and there's a chorus standing off to the side observing, and
Hmm.
even the members of the chorus were like waiting
Hmm.
silently to see what the result would be.
Yep.
So I thought that was a really interesting effect.
Yep. I like the again the direction and the editing as well. So you see like we just mentioned the way that the husband doing like very crappy jobs of telling lies. They showing that by the way by a focus of his eyes, like like his eye just moving around. He was shaking, and then we have like the very next shot of the cat who um realized realize realizing all that. So by the few scenes we actually see like how everything like what's in the situation, the whole situation of that single scene was. I thought that was really like a visual storytelling right there.
Yeah, the husband's nervousness was definitely telegraphed.
Yep. Mm.
He the dude was I can't believe that they've developed this reputation for getting people through the gate, such that even the cook would know about them. Um,
Well,
even like when he is this way, how could that have been? I don't know.
I
What did you,
think he must have been nervous because the last mission will fail miserably. So he was still nervous because of that.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe he was like totally cool and calm and collected before that, but then
Yep.
after the one girl, uh, I she was killed, wasn't she? Like
Yeah, she
the
will be
person,
headed.
yeah, the person they tried to smuggle through last time.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that could
So
be what caused his confidence to crumble.
yeah, because I have a feeling that this time he put his life on the line as well doing this.
Yeah,
So the stakes are much higher. So he and the guys are more worried about him now, more cautious. Sorry about him now. So that's why he been like really nervous and stuff, which is understandable.
yeah, I guess.
All right. Do you have any like other notes on this show? It's
Yeah,
actually the most straightforward out of like the four into a plot.
certainly the most stressful. Yeah, the most suspenseful.
Yep.
Um, unless you count, the lights going off in Beastars. Oh my God, the power's out.
Or when the moms find out about the wig in Hosei no Shura.
Yeah, that's the thing about that scene is like it happens in the post credits segment,
Yeah.
and you hardly have any time to process it. I mean, she sees the bag and she like launches into a tirade about how, no, he's a boy. You're a boy.
Yeah.
This isn't
I
my fault. I did everything right while raising you. And then
yeah.
cut to black. Like
Yeah.
I was just
Well.
unhappy with that scene.
Yep. All right. Go back to Beastar. What did we talk about?
Beastars.
Oh, sorry. Plate of the Immortals.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can just move on to Aim for the Ace. There's more that I could mention about that show probably, but we're already an hour and 10 minutes deep.
All right. All right. Let's go with M&A's. Whew. I thought that Madame Butterfly becoming like full like opposing Hiromi now is just bullshit. She was like one of my favorite characters. Seriously, out of like all of the series, and now she become like one of the like crappy person like Hirumi and the coach.
Well, if you hate Hiromi so much, why aren't you a fan of Butterfly becoming an antagonist? Don't you want to see Hiromi like brought to justice or whatever?
She's a she's a broke down to their level now. That's what I think.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that that's a good way of putting it. She has been brought down to everyone else's level, um, because before she was very stoic.
Yeah,
Know,
well,
like
she have like the world of her own. Like like doesn't matter what everyone else does. She does what she does. She does what she feel like the right thing to do.
yeah,
Now,
but I think things are different after she hears the coach
yep,
request Hiromi's presence on this like national team or
yeah,
for this national
national,
competition.
yeah, that.
Like because it's such a bizarre request and it happens right in her own house to her father. I think that was her father. It's just it's just so strange. Like, why is the coach sticking his neck out for her this far?
Yeah.
Why does he have so much cachet? Like, why is everyone listening to him? And like that's I think that's brought up a couple times in this episode. Like, Coach Munakata, not only is he the coach of this tennis team, but he's also going to be the coach of the. He's also a star player himself,
of the
and he's
national team.
yeah. He- it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Um, and it's so dramatic the way it happens with Madame
Yeah.
Butterfly like sneaking up to the doorway and hearing all this go on, and then we got the bizarre sound effects that happen right afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a tennis racket falling to the ground, or whatever the sound director of this series thinks a tennis racket sounds like when it hits the ground.
Yep. Yep. All right. And then we have Hirumi actually taking some day off. No, she actually resigning,
Yeah,
and she's putting the racket away. She actually can bring herself to stab
yeah,
the
she's gonna
racket.
stab it with scissors,
So
but then she just leaves it at the harbor.
She went to the sea. She went to the beach. Leave that in the harbor. Come back home the next day. It's come back because I don't know why Maki. Well, I don't know why the hell Maki know where she put the racket.
She probably
Bring
followed her out of the house.
bring that back. Oh my god. All right.
Doesn't after
That's
isn't there some scene after Hiromi leaves the house in the middle of the night? Isn't there some scene where Maki is like talking with Goemon, the cat? Or am I just imagining that? Is it after when Maki is gone,
Yeah.
when Hiromi wakes up? Is it Hiromi who talks to the cat?
Hold on. Is that the yeah that was is it a cat or a dog?
That's a cat. Goemon
Right,
is the cat.
She looked like a dog for me.
You know
on-
what? Maybe it is a dog. I think it's a cat.
All right. The only the only moment that I remember of Goemon is when she tried to stab the racket and she saw the cat instead. The cat looking so sad.
Right.
So that's she I think broke the racket and crying or something, and then Maki come in to hug the cat or something. Man, that's just
No, how could you forget the scene where they're playing darts, and one of the darts
oh yeah.
misses, like it bounces off the target and stabs Goemon through the blanket.
Yeah. All right, I remember
Don't
that now.
don't forget animal cruelty. We gotta keep that in mind. The sort of
Oh
thing you can
God.
get away with when your show is 45 years old.
And then we got the match between Madame Butterfly and the other girl.
Lady
I
Orchid.
think. Oh, Lady Orchid.
Yeah.
They actually have a good match, but what happened afterwards? Like, oh my god, the way that she have an injury is so stupid. It,
Has that never happened in tennis? Like people
it
accidentally scrape their hand against the. I imagine that it does when people are going for really low balls, right?
it it doesn't to me. Like for the 10 years that I play, I would say that it does happen to someone, but it's not that bad that you have to forfeit the match.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
you you, you can proc your bones
she could have like
your
really.
because of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's so
You can't
strong that when
possibly.
she hits tennis balls against a wall, they bust into 100 pieces. So
Yeah,
obviously, the
yeah,
force of her swing, like, shattered all her bones when her hand hit the ground.
yep, yep. So like her hands would snap. All right, I
Right.
understand it now.
I mean, it makes sense. It's
Uh,
consistent with her character because it's just a consequence of her massive strength. You know?
yep. All right. Before that, remember when Hiromi practiced again, and there was a ball who come off to Madame Butterfly court, and she gets scolded by the others tennis member of like what if Madame Butterfly step onto the ball and uh, you know uh, it's dangerous for the ball to come to the other court. Actually, yes, that is like one of the very big concern in tennis. Actually, that you step on the ball and you sprain your ankle. So
Yeah.
actually, that make more sense. That that is more credible than forfeit than the injury that Madame Orchid has. Is it Madame? All right, Madame Orchid,
My subs say Lady Orchid.
Lady Orchid. Okay, Jesus Christ. and
I mean,
and then
I thought that scene was ridiculous. The one where with Ottawa being like, what if Madame Butterfly had stepped on this ball?" Because the way the scene is laid out is like uh, Maki or not Maki Hiromi fails to return one of Munakata's serves,
yep, yep, yep,
and so the ball just like bounces off her racket, I think, and then
yep,
starts to roll over to another court. Like she isn't even given a chance to go and retrieve it before
yep.
Ottawa like steps in. She like swoops in. She teleports to where the ball is, and she says, "What are you doing? Why didn't
Yep.
you pick up this ball?" Like she would have gone and gotten it if you had given her 5 seconds.
Yep, yep, yep. That was ridiculous, but oh my god. And all right, we didn't even mention that Lady Orchid after give up the match, come into the court and hug him.
No, she starts to run towards him and then like comedically falls over halfway there.
Like,
She's running over to Coach Munakata and then she just falls on the ground and lies there.
oh, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. That's
and
right.
then he walks up to her. He like approaches her, and then she gets up and she like throws herself onto him because
Oh
she's so
God.
upset.
All right.
Well,
I
I
do
don't mean
think.
that in like a lascivious way or whatever that word is. I
Yep.
don't mean that in like a romantic or a sexual way. I mean she's just like she's crying, so she like latches onto him.
Yep. I do think that they have like some relative to each other.
Yeah, I think he was probably her coach in the past, because
Oh God.
she makes a comment to Hiromi before that match. It must be nice to be like coached so devotedly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She did
and
say that.
she says it kind of bitterly. So I
Right.
don't know, and she also calls him by his first name.
Yeah, that's right. They call each other by their first name. Hmm.
Yeah. Maybe Lady Orchid is the one that he has this relationship with. Like I speculated last time that it would be Madame Butterfly.
Yeah, maybe we.
Or maybe none of that is really happening at all and I'm just crazy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. With I'm for the Ice, like the show that 40 years old, we can. We can never know for sure.
That's
I
right.
I must say though, this show is like one of the best comedy that I have seen so far
That's
in
what I'm
anime.
saying.
Oh my god. I
Dude,
I still don't know
the
if they
scene
are
where
intentional
wait,
though.
what? Go ahead. You still don't
I
know
still
what?
don't know if I still don't know if these are intentional though. These heightened drama, everything so heightened, everything so completely. The drama is like put up to 11, and it's so completely ridiculous that I still don't know if it that is intentional. I know that I will have this question like every single week.
Um, dude, the scene where so yeah, Madame Butterfly decides that she's Hiromi has like made herself an enemy
Yep.
in that early scene in episode 10. Uh, so then like there's a scene where it's like raining outside and the two of them Butterfly and Hirome they suddenly meet under a tree for some reason. We don't see the lead up to this meeting at all, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
they
remember
meet
that.
under a tree and she's like, what do you choose? Me or
Me or
tennis?"
tennis. That that's
That
that's that's a declaration.
that was so strange. Like not only is the scene not led up to or built up to in any way, we don't see them planning to meet one another. We we like, not only that, but the question itself is so like you have to be completely egocentric in order to ask someone a question like that. Like why would it be a choice that she has to make between a human being or a game? Whose mind works that way? Like even the person who wrote the manga, if this was indeed in the manga, they themselves have to be like some sort of weird whacked out like completely selfish and self-absorbed individual in order to think of this plot, like in order to construct this scene. It's just so weird. I love it.
Oh my god. Me too. Me too.
Oh yeah, and then the coach also like she gives the letter of
Oh,
resignation to the coach,
yep.
and
Yep.
he just says, "I understand," and walks away.
And no, the good thing is like 4 days later, when she declared that she still loves tennis, he will reappear with these letters is still in his pocket
Right.
and shred that in half right away.
He's just been waiting. He's been carrying it around with him, waiting for the moment when he could also randomly meet up with her with
Yep.
no planning or like prior knowledge, and and just rip it up and be like, "Oh, you were just taking a break. Don't worry about it."
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah, and that scene right afterwards, like he asked her like how many days, how long have you been away from tennis, and she was like with her dramatic voice, 4 days.
Well, at first it takes her a while to catch on because at first she's she's like, "Huh? Taking a break? What do you mean?" And he repeats himself, and she's like, "Oh, 4 days. I was just taking a break."
Oh my god, this this show is so damn gold of
But you
tennis.
know,
I love it.
something important happened in these episodes, and that's that Hiromi, like even though she's hated, it's kind of an opposite Juno situation. Like Juno is being bullied outside of the drama club, but she's very popular within it.
Yep.
Hiromi now, as a result of the article that the school paper boy wrote,
Yep.
like the new
Oh,
character who's introduced, she is now
boy.
super popular with the student body at large, but she's hated within the tennis club.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So obviously
Uh,
Juno was inspired by Hiromi. They just took her character and inverted it. And 45 years later, bam, we got B stars.
Um, you know what? There's three guys who they say that now we are in Hiromi Club fans. We know one of them. We know that there's a guy who do the report. What is the other one? Who is the other one?
It's the second in command type of guy. There's like Toto, who's the head of the men's
Yep.
tennis team, and then here his friend who's always hanging out with him.
Oh Jesus.
They're always appearing in the same scene next to each other, and they're always laughing like, they
Yep.
always have that laugh that they do when they're like responding to each other's witty comments.
Really.
Good one.
Oh my god.
So it's the three of them, and then there's also the guy who works at the burger place, where
Yep.
he takes um, Hiromi and Maki out to like some sort of weird ghost house or something.
Yeah, in the Jeep. I
Yeah,
love the Jeep.
and then there just happens to be a tennis court nearby.
Yep. Oh, they
Dude,
cut them all.
yeah, like these episodes were so full of bullshit. Uh, serve 1,000 times before you go home. You have to
Yeah, yeah,
serve
yeah.
1,000 balls.
And then you have you see like you don't see like 2 or 3 bucket of balls. You see like 7 to 8. You see like 10 buckets of balls.
Yeah.
My God, that's so amazing. And even like the way that Hiromi talk. She's like when someone asks her like how many have you served already, you must have been served 1,000 like 800 of them, and she said like no, I just served 700. Like she
She's got
counted every ball.
That's right. She's got 300 to go. She can't go home after all until she does 1,000. So you better believe she's counting.
And that is the reason why she win the match afterwards, because she had been serving like 100 balls, so
1,000.
sorry, 1,000 balls. So she build up her stamina, I suppose, or like it's like a 999 ball that only one less to go. So she keep reminding to that feeling. I don't even know why she win the match.
Oh well, I mean, she practices against Butterfly, who has the spin drive,
Right.
and Hyuga, her opponent, like the girl who's like really kind of solidly built in
Yep.
episode 11. She also
Mm.
has a spin drive. So I
All right.
assume that her practice against Madame Butterfly, which the coach organizes, like which he sets up, is the reason that she was able to win.
All
So
right.
that I actually understood. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's Hiromi is kind of upset because the coach doesn't tell her anything about Hyuga's play style. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
say anything about her spin drive. She hears that from another source, which doesn't make much sense to me. But the coach does tell her to practice against Butterfly, like in what seems to be preparation for her next match, because they have the same sort of like volleying technique.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So she
All
does
right.
win. That's like her first tournament win, right?
No, her second one. I remember like there was a match that she win because the opponent just uh that was right after she beat the other girl on the in the club. The alright, I look up her names now. I remember there was a girl who was kicked out of the interim
The girl who was kicked out of the what?
of the main teams. Remember that girl who have like the shot of interesting hair? Who that girl who stole um Hiromi racket before. What's her name?
Ottawa. No, but I'm talking about like a tournament match.
Yeah. So she beat Ottawa, and then the next match she play against like a classic girl who she that other girl who just lost by herself by she was panic of Hiromi, so she make like all the mistake, and the coach comment that like Hiromi got lucky because they lose by themselves. Remember that match?
Oh
No.
yeah. I remember the coach making that comment. Yeah. Wow, it took me
Yeah.
a long time to call that to mind. Yeah, she. That's true.
Yep.
She wins that
So
match, and then as a result, they go on to face the other high school in the finals, and that's when she has to
yeah.
face Lady Orchid, and she gets absolutely crushed.
That's right.
And she's
That's
like,
right.
"I don't want to play tennis anymore."
Yep. I suppose that we will see the plot of her, getting rid of tennis like every 3-4 episodes.
I certainly hope so, because those are some of the most entertaining parts of the series.
Yeah, I would never see what to do with their rackets and stuff in the next few episodes.
And I don't know. It's gonna be a crazy ride.
Yep.
But we will not be talking about Aim for the Ace next week.
All right, that's right. Let me just say one more thing for
Oh.
for the Ace
Oh, okay.
before we can
I was
move
trying to
forward.
do a slick transition there, but
Yeah,
go
that's all
go
good.
on. Go ahead.
I just hope that Madame Butterfly will get better. I don't fall into Hiromi's level. I wanted her to be, as she was before, cool, collected, and doesn't care about what the shit going on happen surrounding her.
Well, you want her eventually to become involved in like the main plot, right? She can't be hovering over it and
Yeah,
kind of above everything forever.
I
Eventually,
just
she
don't.
has to get down and dirty with the rest of them.
Damn, this hurt.
Because otherwise,
See,
she's just like a
alright,
symbol. She just
alright,
exists as an object of like admiration, and she's
but
not a real person.
alright, the way I see it, she's like the more pure person out of like this show. So I just don't want to see her like get tainted by by all this jealousy and stuff going on.
It's too late for
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah. I suppose so. All right. So next week we're gonna do another anime of the decade list.
Not just another one, the final
The
one.
the concrete one. Yes.
Indeed. Gonna see if
Ooh.
any new shows are on the list.
Yep.
Gonna see how the ranks switched up, and we might have like a last minute, desperate arguing session
Yep.
about whether any shows should be changed around or anything.
Yep. So
And
looking forward
yeah.
to that.
I mean, hopefully we can just have a nice chat instead of a bloodbath.
Uh, let's tune in to find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Take care.
See you back next week.